Welcome to the video. It's chapter number 4a, titled as Video and Sound. So first of all, we will see about an output device referred as monitor. So before the advent of LCDs, IPS, TFTs and touch screens, monitors were used as output device. These are categorized by their coloring schemes and colors. So we can categorize as monochrome, which means one color with black background. The second one is grayscale, that means varying degree of gray and shading. And the other one is color. So in the last one, color, it may display from 0 to 16 million colors or maybe more. So in this picture we can have a monochrome monitor. The most commonly type used was CRT. So CRT is the abbreviation of cathode ray tube. These were most commonly type of monitors. So we can see in this picture we have a base with connector pins. Here is the electron gun, and this electron gun basically throws electrons on this output screen that is coated with phosphorus, and this is magnetic field. This is Y deflect and this is F deflect. And here is the focusing system which focuses the electrons so as to display on the screen what is our required output. So in this CRT we can see the output screen was coated with phosphorus that is arranged in dots, and these dots are called as pixels, and dot mask ensures proper pixel is lit. So there are two schemes used in monitors. Number one is RGB, and that is abbreviation of red, green and blue. So on the left side we can see these three colors, red, green and blue. The other scheme is CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow and key. These two schemes are used in CRT monitors, and their variation of intensity creates new color. There are certain backgrounds and drawbacks, disadvantages of CRT. As you can see that CRT monitors are comparatively larger in size, also heavy. At the same time, since they use electron gun and certain other electric devices which consume a lot of electricity. So if you open this box, you can see that this is the phosphorus coated screen, and this tiny thing you can see this is electron gun, and whole collectively comprise of monitor. Okay, the next one we see is LCD. That is abbreviation of liquid crystal display. These are commonly found on laptops. Also initially it was experimented on wristwatches, so we use a lot of digital watches which used LCD or liquid crystal display, and desktop version also exists of LCD. They solve problems of CRT, and they have fluorescent lights that provide illumination. So LCD structure you can see here. This is the surface display. On the both side of the electrodes we have polarization filters. So here we have one polarization filter, and the other one is on this side. The light source is behind the phenomena, and liquid crystal, this is liquid crystal in between the phenomena. And as a product we see LCD in this shape. you already know. So the next phenomena emerged was matrix LCD. So liquid crystal display was based upon number of segments or displays horizontally versus vertically. So the first category was passive matrix, the other one is active matrix. Let's see one by one. In passive matrix, pixels arranged in a grid, and pixels are activated indirectly. Rows and columns are activated, and the animation obtained can be blurry. So if you sit inside of passive matrix LCD, that is, if you look from the front, the image is clear, and if you deviate from one to one line, or you move at a certain angle, the image becomes blur and blur. So in this direct driving, we see that initially 7 display segments, it is also referred as 7 segment display. So every segment was connected to an electrode or a circuitry. However, matrix display, also referred as dot matrix, we see that this matrix or further division of cells is being made to display the same segment or image. So another improvement was TFT, that is referred as thin film technology. Again, we see that there are 2 polarizers. One is just after the backlight, and then there is glass substrate, and this is the matrix, also referred as TFT. Then are pixel electrodes. This is liquid crystal in between, and then we see RGB filter. You can change also with CYMK filter as well, and at the last there is a polarizer. So for active matrix LCD, each pixel is activated directly, and pixels have 4 transistors. Nowadays they have more than 4, rather they use ICs, integrated circuits, and one for each color RGB, and one for opaqueness. Transistor arranged in a thin film, and animation is crisp and clear. So this is the basic difference between passive matrix and active matrix LCD. What are drawbacks of LCD? Of course, they are more expensive than CRT cathode ray tube. They are more expensive comparatively to CRT, and for LCD you must sit directly in front of the screen and can be more fragile than CRT. So we have paper white displays. These are high contrast between fore and background. Another type of monitor is Electroluminescent Display, also referred as ELD. They are similar to LCD, however they use phosphorus to produce light. And another type of monitor is plasma monitor. So for plasma monitor, they use certain gas to produce light inside the output device. Please let me add something, that for plasma devices, you might have observed outdoor, like at a rail station, or some public places, you see a big board which displays certain advertisements and so on. So big banner boards are made up of plasma screens. Okay, now see some connectivity of monitors. Monitors use video cards as a sportive element to communicate with the CPU. So monitors impact user effectiveness, and monitors should have crisp text so that it is very much clear and obvious and readable to human beings, and it should have very clear graphics, adjustable controls, and clear edges. So size of monitor is measured in inches, and that size is measured from the diagonal. So diagonally you have to measure actual size distance from corner to corner and viewable size usable portion of the screen. How you measure the sharpness or crispness of your output device or the screen, that is referred as resolution. So resolution is basically number of pixels horizontally versus vertically of a screen. Now you will ask me, what is a pixel? Here we can see this word is written pixel. So pixel is the smallest element, smallest dot of an output screen which collectively make resolution. Higher the number of pixels, the image created is sharp. So in this picture we can see that this is 10 by 10 pixels and it is referred as 1x. We see that the unit space is same for the three images, this one, and this one. However, the resolution is 10 by 10, then we have 20 by 20, and then we have 30 by 30 pixels. The more the pixels, it means more the higher the resolution, the crisps are more clear the image becomes. And then if we talk about the refresh rate, of course when we view a sequence of images, that is a video or some clip, we need to improve refresh rate. So it is number of time the screen is redrawn, and modern equipment sets this automatically. Improper setting can cause eye strain. So here we can see that the resolution, different resolutions and the terminologies is mentioned over here. What is dot pitch? This is the distance between the same color dots. So the distance among two pixels is referred as dot pitch. It can range between 0.15 mm and 0.4 mm. This is quite old definition, so the ranges vary from technology to technology. Nowadays the situation has become much more improved. So smaller creates a finer picture, should be less than 0.22. So device between the CPU and monitor is referred as video card. So video card is basically a central device which reads instruction from output device or monitor and that forward to CPU. Also they process some information. Better cards result in better output. It removes burden of drawing from CPU, have their own processor and RAM. Nowadays we see that GPUs, graphic processing units, GPUs, are very much efficient in higher processings. So these are quite old specifications. Nowadays we have much better specification GPUs. Okay, in the previous lecture we discussed about ergonomics, and if you just recall what is ergonomics, we observed that human and electronic devices interaction is referred as ergonomics. So here we are talking of output device and our eyes has to interact with this computer technology. So we need to save from eye strain, fatigue of eyes, and how we can save ourselves from eye strain. First of all, we need to choose a good monitor, LCD, or a good output device. We should be at a proper distance to view and center of screen below our eye level. So there should be a level of our eyes and the output screen. We should avoid reflected lights. Okay, what is EMF? This is electromagnetic fields generated by all electronic devices. EMF may be detrimental to health, and how we can save ourselves from EMF. We should keep the computer at arm's length distance, take frequent breaks, and I would prefer to avoid CRT. If you are still using CRT, it's better to replace with some better device like LCD or some further better device. Data projectors. Now if there is a presentation going on at a seminar hall or at some office, data projectors are used, and they replaced overhead and slide projectors. So you can please search Google to see this word terminology, overhead projector and slide projector. These were also old technology used to display at a seminar hall or even at a lecture class. Project image onto wall or screen, so it displays a big image on a big output screen for huge number of audience. LCD projectors. Most common type of projectors are LCD projectors. Small LCD screen but bright color, require darkened room. And then is digital light projectors. A series of mirrors control the display, and since the intensity of light is better, so you may not switch off the room light. And then is the sound system, integral part of computer experience, capable of recording and playback. Now just recall previous lecture we discussed MIDI. So music instrumental digital interface. I would refer to recall that MIDI. So that covers sound system and recording capability and playback. Since we see video card to handle video devices or output devices, to handle sound input devices and output devices, sound card are used. These devices are between CPU and the speaker. They convert digital sound to analog and can be connected to several devices. And nowadays much better standards are used. One of the sound standard is Dolby's surround sound. You can also use headphones and headsets, and they can replace, if for example if you are listening to the lecture and there are some other people in the room, so you can use headphone or handsets or earphones. So they offer better privacy, and at the same time they let not others to disturb. And outside noise is also not a factor. So thank you very much.